Hello, my loves. Happy March. Can y'all believe it's March already? That's like crazy to me. I don't know. I feel like yesterday was the new year. Today we're gonna be ranking Ms. Britney Spears' iconic album, Oops, I Did It Again. I'm excited to be talking about this one. I mean, Britney rankings are my favorites. I just love talking about all of her music, obviously, because she's my favorite. So, I'm gonna be going through the songs from my personal least favorites to my personal favorites. So let's get into it. Number 16 is Dear Diary. Okay, I'm gonna be dragging some of the songs down here for a minute. I am so sorry, but I love Oops, I Did It Again, the album, but I do think it has some of her weakest songs. Like, in general, like, when I think about this album, there's just some that are duds to me. Like, there are just some songs that I really never go back to, and this is one of them. Dear Diary, I just never saw it for. Like, I think it's a cute song. It's adorable. It's very, like, teen poppy and very, like, bubblegum, that sound of the early 2000s. And yeah, I like that, but I think the problem with this one is it's a little tedious, like, and it's kind of a short song too, but it just feels like it goes on forever in my opinion, and I was just never really able to get into it. I think it's adorable. I think that it is a very cute, harmless, teeny bopper type of song, and I just have nothing else to say about it really. Like, it's cute, but that's kind of all that I have for it. I don't think it's bad at all. I think it's endearing, if anything. But yeah, this is definitely one that I just don't really listen to a lot. And probably one of my least favorite Britney songs, like, ever. I am so sorry to the Dear Diary stands, just immediately tracking the song. I don't think it's bad. I just don't really go back to it. That's all. Number 15, same story, is Where Are You Now? I like this one a little better. It just kind of has a better melody, in my opinion. And other than that, like, I don't really have much else for it either. It's very pretty. I think that she sounds very, I don't know, like, ethereal. She sounds very heavenly in this song. And I like that. I think that it sounds gorgeous. In terms of the song itself, just not one that I listen to. Like, frankly, this is one that I'm usually skipping. It's not one that I typically get in my head, but I will say, it will occasionally sneak in there. Like, I will occasionally get it stuck in my head, and I'll usually listen to it. Like, I like the song. I think that it's really pretty, and especially the ending with the whole, like, key change and, like, she is just belting for her life. It is really, really good. Like, it's a very good vocal knee moment. Other than that, though, it just goes on a little too long. It's a little too plotting, in my opinion, and I don't necessarily want to listen to it a lot, is all. But still, definitely a really gorgeous one. Definitely a very good showcase of her voice. I think that she does do a really great job with this one. Number 14 is Girl in the Mirror. I have to try so hard to not sing that. Girl in the Mirror, again, like, this is a cute one, but it's just not one that I go back to. Again, I just find it really slow, and I'm so sorry to, like, say that. I don't hate slow songs. Like, let me just, for the record, say, like, I don't hate a song just because it's slow, but if a song just doesn't do much for me and it's slow, that's, like, the worst. Like, that is the worst crime that you could commit to me. And this one, I don't know, like, it just never did that much for me. I do like the concept of it, how she's basically literally looking in the mirror and talking to herself and saying, like, you'll get through this, like, rest assured, you'll be fine, we will get better. And I wish that there was something to tell her to make her feel alright. Like, that is really, like, sweet, and I think that it's nice to have a song like that where it's basically trying to find that inner strength for you to get past whatever it is you're going through. In this song, it seems to be a breakup or whatever. Yeah, like, I like that, but again, it's just the song itself. It's just a little too slow, and I just don't really find myself going back to it. Like, I don't know, like, it's not really sad enough, and I don't really cry to it, and that's an important thing for me. If you're gonna be a slow song, like, I want to be able to cry to you. I have not ever cried to the song, so that's just gonna be an issue right now. I will say, like, I, again, like the ending where she just kind of goes off where it's like, the girl in the mirror is me. Like, yeah, I love that part. Huge revelation there that the girl in the mirror was her. Like, I didn't see that one coming. That was a real twist. Yeah, like, this song is cute, and I'm so sorry. I'm not meaning to, like, shit on it or anything. I do enjoy the song. I like it just fine. But again, it is one of the, like, lower tier Britney songs to me. Like, this is definitely one that I just never find myself wanting to listen to. And it's not that it's bad, it's just kind of there for me. It never did that much for me. Number 13 is Heart. This one I like a little bit better than the last three, just because I feel like, I don't know, it's kind of a bop. It's kind of cute. It's sing-songy. I like the really like pretty, kind of like glistening production. The violin especially gives it kind of a classical feel. I don't know. And Britney just sounds gorgeous on it. I think she sounds so vulnerable. She's giving such a good emotive performance. And yeah, like I like it. I do really actually enjoy this one. I just like the melody. I think the whole like, hard, I know that I've been hard on you. Like, it's really catchy. It actually is pretty catchy. And it's a good one that will occasionally get stuck in my head. This one, again, it's just in my lower tier of Britney songs. And like when I say that, I don't mean like songs that I outright dislike, because there isn't a single Britney song that I actually dislike. There's just ones that I don't quite love as much as others. And this one, again, it's just kind of in that tier for me. Like, it was never one that I wanted to listen to again. It was never one that I found myself wanting to listen to. It's, I don't know, maybe it's just that it's a little too juvenile. Here's my entire thing with this album. The reason why Oops is one of my lesser favorite Britney albums, even though I love it, don't get me wrong, love this album. But the reason why I rank it lower in terms of all of her albums is just because I feel like it's kind of a growing pains album. I've talked about this before, but this album isn't necessarily like as bubbly and effervescent and as a bubblegum as Baby was, but at the same time, it's not that big mature step forward that her next album, Britney, was. So that's why I always kind of looked at it as like this kind of awkward middle child where it's like it's trying to be a little bit deeper than something like Baby One More Time, which was very juvenile, very much meant for like tweens and teens, but at the same time it's not as deep and it doesn't go like lyrically as deep as her next albums would. So yeah, that's just kind of why I looked at Oops as this awkward like puberty phase. Like, this was the puberty album of Britney's career, and that doesn't make the album bad whatsoever, but I do think that it puts it in this awkward in-between position where songs like Heart and Girl in the Mirror and Where Are You Now, they kind of represent like her trying to, you know, stay true to the whole bubblegum like America's sweetheart image that she had at the time, but trying to age that up a little bit. And it's not that it doesn't work, it's more just, yeah, it is this awkward in between where she wasn't really allowed to go like that much deeper. She wasn't at the point where she was really going for it with more like mature songwriting or whatever. And again, that's not to say that that makes these songs bad. It's more just, when I think of Britney in general, these are some of the last songs that I want to go to because they are just like this awkward in between for me. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but if anyone feels the same way, if you kind of get what I'm saying, like, tell me in the comments, because I don't know, like, that's just how I've always felt about this album and about these songs specifically. They just lack like the bubbly sunniness of Baby One More Time, but they also lack like the punch of her next albums, if that makes any sense. Yeah, so that's kind of like my rant about like basically these Oops tracks, essentially. Like, they are just kind of that awkward like puberty phase for Britney, and that's kind of why I just like never really go back to them. Again, it's not that they're bad whatsoever, it's not that I dislike them, it's just that they are the last songs that I usually gravitate towards when thinking about Britney. And speaking of, number 12 is I Can't Get No Satisfaction. I mean, this is when I kind of start to enjoy the songs a little bit more. This song I kind of ignored for a long time. I don't know why. Like, I just kind of like didn't listen to this one. I think what it was is because it was a cover and like I know the original song, so it's like, yeah, I kind of felt like I didn't like need to listen to it, if that makes any sense, because like I just already knew the song like fine. But this is a good cover. Like, I've actually really grown to like it. I like the production. I like how it is very like early 2000s. It sounds like Darkchild produced it or something. Like, it really gives me that vibe, and I love that. She is really giving you like this aggressive performance in it, especially when like the chorus hits and she's like, I can't get no. Like, she is a rocker chick in this song. I love it. I love it when the girls go rock. I always say it. And this one, it's a really fun one. Like, she is just giving it her all, and I think she just brings a really good performance. I don't know. Like, I just think that this is a well done cover. You wouldn't think that Britney doing this song would necessarily work, but then you listen to it and you're just like, yeah, wow, this is like actually really good. And I think that it's cool that she chose to cover this, you know, like, I mean, I don't know if like she chose it or like her team or whatever, but it's just really cool because especially in the early 2000s, I just feel like there was, you know, kind of a stigma with pop stars and, you know, the Jessicas and the Christinas and the Britneys, where it's like, oh, they only make music for girls or like whatever, stupid stuff like that. Like, especially back then, I feel like that was definitely like the sentiment. And for her to cover like such a classic, like this is one of those like untouchable songs, you know? And for her to do that, I just feel like that's really bold. And obviously for her to like do the VMAs performance coming out to that and then like ripping off the suit and everything, ugh, legendary, just so legendary. Yeah, like I bet that there were a lot of like older white men that got mad that Britney Spears was covering a Rolling Stones songs. Like your dad was probably mad at this, like they probably saw Britney Spears singing Can't Get No Satisfaction and were like, what is she doing singing that? Like, I could totally imagine that being the sentiment at the time. And it's not like you don't get people like that nowadays, but I don't know, it feels like a little more free now for artists to kind of like do whatever genre they want to and just like not really get the same backlash. Because I feel like we all kind of have gone into our own niche little bubbles and we just listen to whatever we like we're not beholden to the radio anymore. So, I don't know, for someone as huge as Britney to cover such a classic song by a beloved rock group and she's like this teeny bopper artist, like, I don't know, that's kind of cool. I just think that there is something kind of bold about that. It's like a statement, you know? Yeah, but in terms of the song itself, like, it's good. It's a good cover. Again, just not really one that I listen to a lot by Britney. But I have grown to like it more over the years. Like, I feel like I went from listening to it literally like twice a year to maybe 5 times. Like, a huge improvement, I know. But it is one that like I've grown a little bit more on. And I do actually like genuinely appreciate it now. I love when Britney goes rock. And I can't deny how good of a cover this one is. Number 11 is When Your Eyes Say It. This one I enjoy a little bit more than the previous ballads, just because it's catchier. I just really like the chorus. I love the whole when your eyes say it, that's how I know. Like, it's really pretty. It's just a very gorgeous sounding song. And again, it is kind of in that realm of like cute little ballads to show that she was more mature than her previous era, but at the same time, it's like not totally. It's still like obviously meant for teens and like tweens or whatever. Yeah, again, definitely kind of that in-between problem that I kind of have with Oops in general, but I don't know, I still just think that this is a really good song. Like, she just sounds really gorgeous in it. I love the spoken word intro. Like, I love when there's a spoken word intro, especially in these like early 2000s, like teen pop, bubblegum pop kind of songs. It is just like so cute. Like, it's so endearing to me. I don't know why. I just really love it. And I mean, I guess overall in this album, like you have the little voicemails at the end of a lot of the songs. It's so cute. Like, I just really love that. I think that it gives such a personality, you know? And in this one, I just love how it opens up with that, with the whole, like, I love to hear you say that you love me with words so sweet, and I love the way with just one whisper, you tell me everything. Like, it is just so cute. It's very, like, a love letter-esque. It reminds me of, like, Romeo and Juliet or something. I don't know. It is just a very, very adorable song, and that's why I enjoy it. Again, it's not one that I go back to a lot, but it is definitely one that I'll get stuck in my head from time to time, and I will listen to. It is very just, like, pretty. It's very, like, flowery. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, the song just, like, makes me picture, like, flowers or something. Like, it just gives me such, like, early 2000s, like, Y2K aesthetic, like, visuals just in my head whenever I listen to it. And, that's kind of why I enjoy it. Like, I just love how, like, girly teen poppy it is, and it is just very, very cute. Number 10 is Don't Let Me Be the Last to Know. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I used to really not love this song. I have to admit, this used to be like my least favorite Britney single. But as the years have gone on, I actually really do enjoy the song now. And I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just grown on me. But I just think this song is really gorgeous. Like, this is just a beautiful, like, moving ballad. She sounds so vulnerable in it, and you can really hear, like, the pain in her voice as she's saying, like, don't let me be the last to know. Like, if you truly love me, like, you will tell me the truth. And I love that. I love how the song is basically just her wanting this man to communicate that with her. Like, that is just a really, like, sweet kind of topic. And I just think she does it well. Like, she just pulls the song off really well. And I can't really explain why I like this one, like, better than the other ballads. It's just, I don't know, like, I just do. Like, I can't really explain what makes this one better than, like, a Where Are You Now? But maybe it's just the emotion that I feel in this song. Like, I just feel her spirit. Like, I really feel her soul in this song. And I think that's because, like, she loves it. I think that she said this was her favorite song off this album. And she even continued to perform it. Like, she did this one at the Femme Fatale tour, which was honestly shocking. I was like, this isn't, like, the obvious one, you know? Like, when people think of Britney Spears, like, hits, this isn't really the one that is necessarily as remembered, especially not as much as her bigger ones. But it's still a really good one. Like, I think that this is one of her more underrated singles, and it definitely deserves more attention. It is just so pretty, and she gives such an amazing performance. The video also, oh my god, the guy in that video, when I tell y'all, would just watch the video for the guy, like, frankly, like, it was so bad. Like, when I was, like, 12 years old, y'all have no idea, I played that video out, and it was funny, because at the time, I didn't even, like, really love the song. I really just watched it for the video. It was so good. That guy was so hot. They actually played this video a few weeks ago at a club that I went to, and I was, like, kind of entranced. I was like, oh my god, they cannot be playing this right now. I was so shook. I was looking at that screen the whole time. And Britney in that video also, like, she is just so heavenly in that video. I don't know, there is just something about her. She just looks like an angel in that video. I mean, she always does, but, like, in that video especially, I don't know, just so gorgeous. That is such a gorgeous video. Didn't her mom or someone get upset about, like, it was, like, quote-unquote too sexual or something? I don't know, I feel like I remember hearing, like, rumblings that her parent or someone didn't like the video because it was too, like, sexually, like, suggestive or whatever, which is crazy when you look back on it now, and it's just like, yeah, the next video she released was Slave For You, so definitely did not deter her from going even more sexual. But that video is, like, so tame. It's, like, crazy to think that at the time that would have been seen as shocking. But enough about the video. The song, it is really great. If I had one complaint, I do think, I don't know, maybe it's a little long, maybe it drags just a teensy-weensy bit, but that's alright. Like, I still really do enjoy the song. If you had asked me 10 years ago, I would have been like, no, this is at the bottom. But it has definitely grown on me a lot, and it's one that I'll revisit from time to time. Definitely just a really, really pretty track. Number 9 is You Got It All. This is another one where it's like, yeah, it's a ballad, and yeah, it's slower, and I know that I was kind of complaining about that earlier, but this one just works for me. Like, I can't really explain it. Sometimes a song just works, and sometimes they just don't. This one just works. I think that this is a gorgeous song. I'm pretty sure it's a cover. Forgive me, I can't remember who the original artist is, but it is just such a pretty, pretty song. And I love the melody. I think it's so catchy. I love the whole, like, you got it all over him. Like, it's so pretty. And it's just one that I get stuck in my head a lot. Like, actually, I'll just find myself randomly humming the tune to this song because it is kind of an earworm. It does kind of stick with you. And again, like, she is just serving really gorgeous vocals on this one. She has that beautiful, like, airy tone in it. And it's just complemented by that really pretty, kind of like twinkly production. This is just a really great, well done ballad. It is just a bop, and one that I actually enjoy listening to. I don't really have much else to say about it aside from that. Like, it is a cover, but I do think she brings her own personality to it, and I think she just does a great job with it. That's really all that I have to say about it. It's one of the more middle-of-the-road tracks for me, definitely, but it's still a great one. Definitely one that I'll revisit. Number 8 is What You See Is What You Get. This is where we start getting into, like, the songs that I actually really love, because, like I said before, Oops is kind of split for me between the tracks that I think are among her weakest, and then some of her better ones. And I wouldn't say What You See Is What You Get is one of my favorite Britney songs, but it definitely is one that I love a lot. I really appreciate how early on in her career, Britney was letting it be known that, yeah, what you see is what you get, like, I am me. And this song is like a declaration of that. Like, she does not want people to tell her what to do, and she's laying that all out in the song. I love that. She is standing up for herself, and she was really starting to do that with this album and with Stronger and everything. And she would just continue to do that for the rest of her career. And I just really appreciate that. Like, that is definitely a part of Britney that has always been there, and the fans know, but definitely at the time, the general public probably didn't care or didn't want to hear Britney standing up for herself, because she just got like so much backlash for, like she says in the song, like wearing too much makeup or her dress is too tight or whatever, you know. And I just love how she confronts that. Like, she is not afraid. When Britney bites back, like, those are the best types of songs, and this is a really good, like, Britney biting back type of track. That rhymed, I didn't mean it to. But, yeah, like, I just think that this is a bop. I love that pre-chorus of, like, the, you should never try to change me, I could be nobody else. Like, I love that. It's so good. And then you have that massive chorus. It is just so, so catchy and such a bop. Like, there is such a, like, bite to the song, and there's such a punch to it, and it genuinely feels like her sticking up for herself. I just really, really love that, and I love when Britney does that, and What You See Is What You Get is definitely an early example of that. I think that this is also just a really good fusion of that, like, Y2K bubblegum pop sound with something a little harder, a little rockier, and it works. Like, it really, really does work very well in this track. So I absolutely love this one. Definitely one that, it's another kind of grower for me, because I think over the years, maybe I didn't realize, like, how much this message in particular meant to me, but it's kind of like a source of strength for me, you know, like songs like this where it's like you don't know that you needed to hear it at the time, but you look back and you're like, oh yeah, that song like genuinely helped me. Like, there were plenty of times where I would just say to myself, like, what you see is what you get. Like, if someone doesn't like me, then too bad. Like, this is what you get. I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, it's definitely one that has spoken to me, and one that I will always cherish. I really, really do genuinely love this song. Number 7 is Walk On By. This was a B-side to Oops, I believe. It was a B-side. It wasn't actually on the album itself, but I just always include B-sides in any rankings because I just want to have all my bases covered. I'm very OCD like that. Walk On By, this to me sounds like a Baby reject. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this was actually recorded during the Baby One More Time era, and if it was meant for Baby, because it is very, very much that album. It is bright, it is teen pop, it is bubblegum, it is insanely saccharine and sweet, and I just love it. Like, I love this era of music for that reason. Like, I just love the overly sweet, like, hammy, saccharine sound, and that's what this song is. It's just so adorable. I mean, this is just so the stereotypical, like, early Britney song. Like, when people think of early Britney, America's Sweetheart Britney, this is the type of song that I would imagine you would think about, because it really is just so cheesy and corny, but I love that. Like, when I call something corny, that is a very big compliment, because, like, I love music like that. This one, it's just so adorable. I think the chorus is really, really catchy. I just love the whole, like, I'm not the only feeling lonely every time you walk on by. Like, so cute, just so adorable. I'm picturing a video where she's like at the mall with her girls and she sees the man walk on by and she's like looking at him, and suddenly like the rest of the world is in slow motion. She's like just focused on him. I don't know, just like something cute like that. Like, that is so what this gives me. It is just so Y2K. It is so this era of music. And I just really love it. I just think that there's such a charm to it. It's so innocent. It just really brings you back to that time, even though I was too young to like remember really the music from back then. I don't know, it's like weird. I still kind of get transported back to that time, even though I was literally like 2. But it's a really endearing song. I really do love it. Definitely one of her rarer cuts, aside from like her unreleased stuff or anything. I feel like maybe not a lot of people know about this because it was a B-side and it isn't on the album proper, but definitely give it a listen if you never heard it. If you love early Britney, this is just so that. Like, this is so quintessentially early Britney, and I love it for that reason. One of her most underrated songs, in my opinion. Number 6 is Don't Go Knock My Door. love this song. Love this song so much. It is very like Destiny's Child. I don't know if anyone else ever got that. It is just so that sound. I don't know what it is. Like it's kind of R&B a little bit, and there's like this groove to it. It's kind of like funky, and I love it. I think Britney just sells it really well. She has so much sass in this song, and again, it's biting, and I love that. I love a Britney biting back song. We know this. I love the lyrics. I love the whole like, you and I were like so bye-bye. Like I love that. And the chorus, it's just this like huge explosion, very indicative of this era. Again, like just all about having that huge, insanely catchy hook, and this is such a good hook. It is really simple but very effective, one that has always gotten in my head. If someone knocks on my door, I will sing the song. Like literally, it's not even like a question to me. Like again, this is just how much Britney has like permeated my psyche. The fact that no one can knock on a door and I simply cannot sing the song, that's like maybe worrying, but like whatever, it is what it is. Yeah, I just really love this song. Like it is just a bop, and I just think that it really goes off. It really, really does. Like I said, it kind of reminds me of like Destiny's Child a little bit from this era. It does kind of have like that R&B, kind of like Dark Child inspired production. I don't know if he actually did the song, but it sounds like he could have. Yeah, like this is just a bop. I really love it. And again, very like sassy. I love when Britney gets into her sassy lane. This one, she's telling you like she's stronger than ever, and she's telling you now, don't go knocking on her door, gotta stay away for sure. Love it. It is just such a great song. And again, she is just showing her power through this track. And I love that. I love when Britney isn't afraid to like set the boundaries and be like, no, you know what, you messed up, and you are gonna have to deal with it. Like, do not go knocking on her door, bitch. Like, do not. I just love it. This is, to me, like, such a classic Britney deep cut. I feel like this is actually one of her strongest deep cuts in her whole discography. Just absolutely a bop. Number 5 is Can't Make You Love Me. I always lump these two in together because they're both kind of like these really high drama, like high stakes songs with the like massive drama chorus. Like, I just love that about them both. I feel like they're both kind of tied, but I do prefer this one on most days, I feel, because I just think the chorus is really catchy. Like, to me, this chorus is one of the best on the album, and it's so satisfying to sing along with. I especially love like the I'm just a girl with a crush on you. Like, it is so much fun to sing along with. This is such a scream along bop, one that I cannot sit still whenever I'm listening to it, because it just goes off. Like, I love how there's an energy in the song that kind of is sustained throughout the entire thing. Like, it just feels like one of those songs where it starts and it just like hits you over the head with the I'm just a girl, like that whole thing. And then once you get into it, like it does a good job of building like tension. Like, I love how in the verses it is kind of like steadily taking its time. She's like setting the scene, and the pre-chorus where she's like, I could be sitting with the movie stars. Like, I love it so much. It just does such a good job of like building up the hype to the chorus, and it's just like pop music 101. Like, to me, this is such a, again, quintessential early Britney song. Like, when you think of the stereotypical sound of this whole era, and especially for Britney, like her early career, this is so that sound. Like, this is exactly what you would imagine. And I just think that this is one of the most well done examples of that. It's so insanely catchy. I just love singing along with it. I love screaming along with it. And yeah, that's basically all that I have to say. Like, this is simply a bop. So catchy, so much fun. If you haven't heard in a while, definitely give it a listen. I feel like, again, this is one of her more underrated deep cuts. I actually do think that this is one of her stronger deep cuts, especially for early on in her career. Just absolutely a bop. Number 4 is One Kiss From You. I feel the same way about this one as I did about Walk On By. I really feel like this was meant for Baby, because again, it is that really sunny, like bubblegummy teen pop kind of thing, and that's why I love it. This one to me is just a bright summer day. It sounds like you're eating a popsicle. It sounds like you are on a slip and slide. Like, that is just what it gives me. It just gives me like summertime when you're a child. That's what this song is. And it's just like condensed joy. Like, you can really hear the smile on her face as she's recording this. Like, there is just such an infectious energy to this song that, to me, makes it the serotonin booster of this album. I really do think that this is the one that I could put on at any time and it'll just put me in a brighter mood, because that's how it sounds. Like, it is just so adorable. I really love the opening line where she's like, I don't want to hear that I'm too young to know if love makes me feel this way, because I don't have to feel the heat of the sun to know it's shining on me every day. I really love that line. I don't know, I just think that is a very well-written kind of thing. And it really is, again, just indicative of the whole, like, attitude of Britney during this era and, like, how she was marketed. Like, just this really sweet, like, cute, love-stricken kind of girl. And it's just very endearing. Like, this is like a young love as a song. It is just so, yeah, like, endearing. I don't know what else to say. It's just so cute, and I just can't get over it. Like, every time I listen to it, like, there is a huge smile on my face, because it's like, how can you listen to this song and not just be, like, charmed? Like, it is just so happy. It's so bright. And that's why I love it. Like, I just really enjoyed this one. I feel like I've seen it get some heat online from people that are like, it's too much like Baby, like, it sounds too much like that album, and it doesn't necessarily belong on this one. Or just in general, I feel like it's not really seen as one of her stronger deep cuts. It doesn't really get that much love nowadays, unless I'm just not seeing it or whatever. But I will gladly be the internet's only One Kiss From You stan. Like, I feel like no one else really loves this song as much as I do. Like, I bet plenty of y'all watching right now are like, how could you put that above, like, all the other ones? But I just really love it. I just really love this track. Like, again, I love a corny, cheesy little love song, and that's what this is. It's just everything that I love about early Britney as a song. So that is number 4. Number 3 is Lucky. I think we all know what the top 3 on this list are gonna be, but I have to say, like, Oops really had some of the best singles of her career, and Lucky, I mean, this is one of them. Like, this is such a prophetic song. It is so kind of eerie how it almost predicted her life and how her career affected her personal life. It's really sad to think about, because, you know, what is she saying in the song? She's singing about this girl named Lucky. It's a story about a girl named Lucky, and she is on top of the world, and everyone idolizes her. You know, the video, she's like literally a star. Like, she's sitting on like the moon and everything. She's at the red carpet, and she goes home and, you know, she's crying iconically with that tear falling down her cheek, even though she is not in the position where the tear would fall like that, but whatever, it looks good, that's what matters. Yeah, this song is just really great because it allowed a more personal look into Britney's life and sort of mind frame at the time. And again, like I said, even if she didn't totally feel like this, I still think that it's one that resonates to her story and, like I said, her relationship with fame. And on top of all of that, like, taking the context out of it, this song is just a bop. Like, this is just a really well done pop song. You have that massive chorus, that massive, like, sing-along chorus. I love how it starts off with this is a story about a girl named Lucky. Like, I love that. I love the violin in this song, how it just adds, like, this kind of sense of, like, drama and stakes. And yeah, like, this is just a perfectly crafted pop song. Like, this was just a factory-made, like, pop banger that was made to appeal to everyone. And it still goes off to this day. Like, people still know the song. Like, it actually is crazy the longevity the song has had, and, like, all the singles from this album. But especially this one. Like, I hear this at, like, straight bars sometimes, which I don't go to those places very much because they're not fun. But if I'm going out with my friends or whatever, and there's, like, a 2000 throwback night, like, yeah, you bet this is gonna be played. And everyone knows it. Like, when the straights know it, when the straights know a song, like, that's how you know, like, it's permeated the culture. Like, it has gotten through to everyone. And Lucky, like, this is a classic. Like, I don't even think that that's an exaggeration. Like, I really do think that this is one of the classic 2000s pop songs, and frankly, all the other singles from this album are. And speaking of, number 2 is Oops, I Did It Again. What a classic. I mean, seriously, there's just nothing to say about this song that hasn't already been said. It's just pop perfection. Like, this literally is the blueprint. If I had to explain to an alien species what pop music was, this would be one of the songs that I would use. it's just everything that makes pop music what it is, like all just thrown in together and executed flawlessly. Like she is giving you that sassy performance. I love the spoken word bridge with the whole like, but I thought the old lady dropped it into the ocean at the end, like iconic, so good. I hate on the radio when they edit that part out. Like that part is so good. Like how could you edit that out? That is like such a like a classic part of the song. But yeah, and of course like that chorus that will never leave your head. It is just permeated culture. Like I said, it is just such a staple. Like the song is just a staple at this point. I mean, we all just know it. Like nobody can say oops without saying I did it again. Like that is just how it is. That is how much it has truly affected the world. And yeah, like I don't really even know what else to say about the song. Like it's oops, I did it again. Like this is a perfect pop song. It's one of the classics. It is one that will literally live on until the end of time, and I just don't want to hear anything else about that. Like this is just the blueprint. And of course, it was brought to us by the Queen of Pop, who herself is the blueprint for every other pop girl moving forward. That is just what I think. Number one is Stronger. Stronger is more of a deeper song to me, and I'm gonna get like way too personal, but this song has just been like fittingly so my source of strength ever since I got into Britney. Like when I first heard this song, I was, how old was I? I mean, I was like a tween. I first got into Britney in 2011, and I was, I guess, 12 at the time, and you know, like a little gay boy discovering Britney Spears and everything, and like all the other queens of pop. Like I was listening to Madonna and like Christina too. But this song specifically just really made me believe in myself, and it's acted as that like source of strength for me until like today. Like I still go to the song as a reminder of like, yeah, everything that you've been through, it has made you stronger, and you are, you know, on the other side of it. Like as hard as some things have been in life, like you got through it and now you're stronger than yesterday. Like I just think that it's a simple sentiment, but it's delivered so excellently, and I think the fact that it's Britney singing it really does like elevate it, because we know what she's gone through. I mean, like publicly, just in terms of, you know, being dragged and being exploited by her family. She really has gone through so much, and just the fact that it's her like saying these words, and the fact that she can go through all of this and still have a song like this to remind her of like her power, and to remind everyone of the fact that she is a strong person and she has gotten through so much. I just think that that is so inspiring, and it's really one of the biggest reasons, you know, why I stan. It's the resiliency that she shouldn't have ever had to go through anything like even remotely close to what she did, but the sad fact is like she did, and she is still here with us. Like the fact that she's even still here with us, like considering everything that she went through, is very, very inspiring. And this song to me just kind of sums up why I love Britney. It's that resilience. It's the fact that she is able to bounce back from all the crap that she's gone through. And that is why I've used the song just kind of as an inspiration. Like it's a very like personal song to me. And of course the song itself like is just great. Like again, very, very classic, very early Britney, very fun, upbeat, and danceable. This is one that it comes on in the club, everyone loses their minds. The video is obviously so iconic, that whole like chair dance, which I tried to do when I was younger, and that was just not happening. Like I couldn't do that dance when I was 12, so I can't even imagine like trying to do that now. Like that just would not work out. But usually when I'm alone in my room and the song is on, like I might get on the chair and pretend that I look like Britney in the video, even though I look like I'm probably just having a stroke or something. But yeah, like this is just one of those like lifetime songs for me. It is the one song that I ever got tattooed on my body. I have a tattoo that says Stronger. I have no other tattoos. I was never into those. Not like, no judgment if you have them. I just never was personally. But this is the only exception for my entire life. Ever since I like heard the song, I have said like this would be the one that if I were to ever get a tattoo, it would be this, because it is actually genuinely meaningful. And I feel like when a song persists so strongly in your mind for over a decade like that, I think that's pretty fair. Like, I don't think this song is going anywhere for me. I don't think I'm ever gonna regret having this on my body. So, yeah, like, this is definitely just an all-timer for me. This is one of my all-time favorite Britney songs. It's one of my all-time favorite songs ever. And, yeah, like, that's just why I love it. It is just a very, very profound song to me. Like, whenever I'm going through it, whenever I think about anything that I've gone through, whether it was a dark time, a rough patch, this is the song that I immediately jump to and I say, you know what, you're stronger than yesterday. Like, you'll get through this. You have gotten through worse before. And, you know, like, this song is just kind of a reminder of that. So, yeah, that is why I love Stronger. Sorry to get, like, so personal, but I feel like a lot of other people feel that way. Like, this is definitely one that Britney, whether she knew it or not, she made it for the gays. Like, this was definitely made for the gays. Not that, like, obviously anyone can relate to it. I'm not, like, trying to gatekeep it to just gay people. But, I feel like especially this is one of those songs where whether she knew it or not in the moment, like, it really did have such a huge impact on so many people. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of other people that feel the same way about the song that I do, and it's powerful when music could do that. Like I always say, to me, music is like very spiritual, and this is like a reason why I think that. Like, when a song can like genuinely touch your soul, touch your spirit like that, that is very special, and this is just a very special song to me, obviously. So that is my ranking of Oops, I Did It Again. Like I said, this one is definitely not one of my favorite Britney albums. I would say it's my second least favorite, my least favorite being Britney Jean, obviously. But, you know, honestly, and this is gonna sound like kind of bad, but I feel like I listen to Britney Jean a little bit more just because, like, that album is like a party album and, like, it gets you hyped and isn't a mess, sure, but it's a fun mess. Oops, I think is a good album, like, well, not just good, it's a great album, but, you know, like, a lot of the deep cuts on it are just not ones that I go back to because they're either like slow or a little bit plodding and they just never really did much for me. And like I was saying, it just lacks like the really over the top, like sunny, cheery brightness of her debut, but it doesn't like lean hard enough into like a more mature image change for Britney that her next album would do. Like, this is definitely the in-between album, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think a lot of artists have that, and especially with like their second albums where it's like, yeah, you kind of feel pigeonholed to what your image was before and how people perceive you. And this one was obviously Britney still in like the America's Sweetheart mode, but trying to age out of it a little bit and like grow with their fan base. And I think that it's still a great album. Like, it's an iconic album, but outside of the singles, I just don't think it has necessarily her best deep cuts. Like, definitely my bottom, like, 4 are some of my least favorite Britney songs just ever. And I feel like I don't start really, like, standing the songs until, like, number 8. Like, to me, this is kind of an inconsistent album. Like, the highs are very high, but the lows are some of her lowest lows, in my opinion. And again, like, this is all just me. Like, this is all just how my mind works. I get that this album is very beloved, and as it should be. Like, it is such an iconic piece of 2000s pop culture, and like I was saying, the singles and the videos from this era are just so legendary, and definitely some of her most like memorable moments. She really like came through with this one. She did not have the sophomore slump, she had the exact opposite of it. And the fact that this album is called Oops, I Did It Again, and she basically replicated like the huge success she had from Baby, I mean, that's just iconic. Like, of course you would say Oops, I Did It Again and just casually, you know, have one of the most iconic albums of all time. Like, that is why she is the queen. So that was my ranking. I hope you guys enjoyed, even though I rambled for probably too long, but that's just what I do on a Britney ranking. But let me know what your guys' favorites from this album are, and I will see you in the next one.